Hi guys and welcome to my review of One Piece chapter 896. Just finished reading the other translation. Good for clarification, although I think the few things that were different weren't that much, so that's fine. But I did read it again and there are so many things in this chapter, holy crap. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start with the small things. We have a few panels of Capone and Big Mom. Big Mom is dangerously close to catching up to them and they're not at the island that they were aiming for yet. So they're like on the verge of giving up, but Capone is like, we might not have come into the world together, but we can die together. They're just like, and they're doing all of this for Luffy and Nami, and I'm just like, and Sanji obviously, but it's like, anyway, that was just real nice. We have Stussy and Morgans. They have a couple of panels where they're just talking about what will happen with the Straw Hats. And obviously Morgans is like, oh, there's just gonna be a big scoop. And Mondor, who I think it was, who was with them, it was like, no, we will definitely capture them. Not even Gold Roger could defeat this army. And we're just like, well, yeah, but this isn't Roger, this is Luffy, and Luffy can definitely do it. So yeah, but I liked having those characters just like to remind us that they're there and stuff is going down. Because we just have so many things going on. We have most of the chapter I feel like is spent on Cacao Island, just like because we're following Sanji's storyline with him and Pudding waiting for Luffy to appear and them saying their goodbye. There's possibly a kiss involved. That's just how I read it. I really don't know if there's any other interpretation to one last wish and then taking out his cigarette. Like, I don't see any other interpretation. But it's really interesting that they have this conversation of, well, what will Luffy do? Like, we expect him to come here, but we can't obviously expect him to beat Katakuri, because Katakuri is Katakuri. He's perfect and unbeaten and all of that stuff. So it's really interesting how they actually come to the conclusion that he's probably gonna come here pretty much unscattered because he has been hiding either in the mirror world or on another island with Boulez so that he could have safely avoided Katakuri and a fight. So they're not expecting for Luffy to come out and just be like half dead. They're expecting Luffy to come out basically at full force at them, which means that like they're prepared for anything here. And while they're probably not expecting for Pekoms to come out, I wasn't expecting Pekoms either. Where did he pump up from? I don't know. They're definitely they're gonna be ready for everything. Sanji's gonna be the deciding factor here, I believe. Just because he's smart and he can walk on air. And he just needs like 5 seconds to get Luffy and just get the crap out of there, cause yeah, just get them out of there, and then they can just coup the burst out of the territory, and then they're safe, I assume. I don't know what will happen. But going back into the mirror world, we had the conclusion of Luffy versus Katakuri, and I really, really liked how it ended, because I talked about how I wanted it to be a tie, somewhat. And they did knock each other out for like 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, or something like that. It was really nice seeing like when Luffy wakes up and he just kind of crawls himself out of the hole and he's like, what time is it? I need to be there 1 a.m. just after his crew has been like, we don't even know if he knows when we're meeting, where we're meeting, how he gets out of the mirror world, how he gets to Cacao Island. We don't know if we can trust our captain. I'm just like, here, like, guys, have faith. But anyway, just have Luffy crawling out, and then you have that one panel of Katakuri hovering over him that I talked a lot about, and the reaction is just like, it was such a good panel. And then it's just, you just have Katakuri ask him, like, are you gonna defeat Big Mom someday? And Luffy's just, yeah, obviously, I'm gonna be Pirate King. And as he falls, he's like, you really can't see far into the future or something like that, and just falls over, and Luffy like crawls over to him and puts the black hat on him over his mouth that he always has covered up, because obviously Luffy has noticed that that's like he's always hidden that because people see that as ugly and stuff. So he covers it up as a sign of respect, because he really liked Katakuri as a person. They just had to fight. And I just found it really interesting that Katakuri is like, are you gonna defeat Big Mom? Because I think there are two ways to read that. Like, either as in Luffy is strong enough, like now he has defeated Katakuri, is he gonna go after the bigger target, which would be the one person that Katakuri would deem as stronger than himself, which would be his own mother? Or is it because Katakuri is hoping that he defeats Big Mom at some point? Because obviously, Katakuri, as much as his family look up to him, as soon as they see the real him, they have zero respect for him because they think he's ugly. He even hides his eating habits. Like, they've never even seen him lie down or sit down. Or they have seen him sit down, but lie down. Like, what the heck? This guy sleeps as well. So I think it would be really good for Katakuri just to get out of that family, and I don't know what he would do next. I don't think he'd necessarily turn into, like, a good guy. And the good guy I just mean, like, on our side, but it would be really interesting to see him as, like, a freelance something. I think that'd be really funny. I want to see him return at the very least, because he's such a good character. But we'll see. We also have Pekoms reappear. I mentioned that briefly. Very out of the blue, very convenient. I don't know why he's trying so hard and still not so hard to cover up his identity, because his speech pattern is the same. He looks the exact same, but in different clothes and with different hair color. And he talks to Luffy as if he knows him and just calls himself by a different name. And I mentioned this in the live reaction as well, because Luffy always calls him, I forgot what he used to call him, but he did not call him Pekoms. And now the Pekoms is like, I am this guy. Luffy's just like, hey Pekoms, nice to see you again. So I thought that was funny. But now we only have 5 minutes left until 1 a.m. I feel like stuff is going fast. I was expecting, like, this entire chapter to be dedicated to Katakuri versus Luffy, and it just, like, ended. But it's cool. I'm still really into Sanji in this chapter. I really liked how he handled the entire thing with Pudding, because it's so obvious that he's not in love with her. Like, he's just there, oh, I was really happy that we met, and I was really happy that you were my fiance while it lasted, but now we have to say goodbye. Like, he's so nice to her, and he's just like, there are no feelings whatsoever. I think that's really funny. Because Sanji isn't even acting. I mean, he's still respectful and all that, but I don't think he's acting the way he is usually around Pudding. And I think all of it probably has to do with with the circumstances of how they met. Like, I think the fact that he was forced into a relationship with her just means that it will be, like, nearly impossible for him to fall in love with her, even if she is literally perfect for him. Just because there's something different about, like, maybe not falling in love per se, but just, like, being attracted to someone because, like, they're there and they're nice and you're meeting of your own free will and stuff like that, and then being forced into something that literally tore your life apart and brought up so many bad memories. So I think it's just impossible for Sanji to ever love Pudding. But that's just my perspective. But I just, because he acts so differently around her from when he, like, how he does around Nami, how he did around Robert, but not so much anymore, how he acted around Violet, how he acted around other women. I don't know. There haven't been that many women lately, because like they've been Reiju and Big Mom, and they're not really like, you know, family and Big Mom. So yeah, but I really love Sanji. I feel like Sanji was drawn differently than everyone else. He looked so damn cool. Like Luffy also looked cool, but in a completely different way. He just like has that. It's just, again, I really love when he just crawled on the ground and was just like, okay, I have to meet with my friends. Just lovely, very lovely. I think that's it. But it was such a good chapter. I think it was really worth the wait this time because it seemed very fast paced. I think we still have a few things to conclude before we can really leave. Like Big Mom and the cake. I really want Big Mom to eat the cake. Before, yeah, that's my main thing. And the freaking bean smokes! Oh my god, I keep forgetting that they were a thing. A couple people said a few weeks ago that it would probably make sense for the bean smokes to show up right here, because there's an entire fleet and stuff. So let's hope that happens, because at this point, where else would they show up? There's no other place they're needed right now. Why would they come help out Capone? I mean, I feel like Capone is pretty much on his own. Maybe he can get help from the fishmen. I have no idea. But it's like we're not gonna have the Beansmoke come and like, yeah, we're gonna save Capone from Big Mom. They're definitely gonna help Sanji out here. Even if it's unintentional that they're helping Sanji out. But word would have gotten around that Luffy is set to meet up with his crew at Cacao Island at 1 a.m. So that's probably where they're headed. Maybe. We'll see. Or maybe they'll just never show up again and they just like left. That would be a very funny turn of events. Like we just meet them in 500 chapters and we're like, hey, where did you go? And they were just like, we left. But yeah, probably not gonna happen. But yeah, this concludes the review. So if you like anything that I had to say, you can leave a thumbs up. Leave in the comments below what you thought of the chapter, and if I missed anything, or if you have another read on something I talked about, and you can subscribe if you want to see more next time. Bye!